I'm Merely Caruso. It's Tuesday, August 11th. Today, open to the public.
I'm disappointed that government didn't hear the people of the community.
How day one at the province's first supervised consumption site is going and what critics are saying about it. Also today, more charges. The new allegations an embattled Winnipeg City councillor is now facing. Plus, curb appeal. How a new grant program is being launched to help improve downtown storefronts. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. More charges tonight for an embattled Winnipeg City councillor. Winnipeg police say Transcona councillor Russ Wyatt is facing new charges in connection to two separate incidents. The first is related to an alleged sexual assault we first reported on back in the spring. Wyatt was arrested in late March and charged with sexual assault and administering a noxious substance after a man came forward in February saying he was given an illegal drug and sexually assaulted by someone he met online. Police later searched a home in East Winnipeg where officers seized approximately 7 grams of psilocybin, more commonly known as magic mushrooms. Wyatt was subsequently charged with possession of a controlled substance. We also learned today Wyatt was arrested Monday in connection to an alleged sexual assault in October of 2023. The details are very similar, with investigators saying a man reported being provided an illicit substance and sexually assaulted by a man he met online. In the most recent arrest, Wyatt was charged with sexual assault and administering a noxious substance with intent. And a reminder, none of these charges have been tested in court, and Wyatt is presumed innocent. Wyatt has denied all of the allegations and maintains his innocence. Manitoba's first supervised drug consumption site opened today, followed by lengthy delays and controversy. Standing by live with the details from day one is CTV's Taylor Brock. So Taylor, when did the doors officially open today?
Well, it opened this morning, Merrily, at 11. CTV's Joseph Bernacki was at the 366 Henry Avenue site when those doors first opened. And over the course of an hour, he saw roughly 10 people going inside. And inside, staff are on hand as visitors access substance testing, inject drugs, and connect with support services. It's important to note the site does not provide drugs. This space was created to address the growing overdose and drug crisis and help prevent open drug use on Winnipeg streets. It was originally supposed to open last year on the Disraeli Freeway, but that plan was axed due to opposition from area residents whose concerns include neighborhood safety and potential impacts to local businesses. And a man who's dedicated his life to raising awareness about the dangers of recreational drug use says he's concerned about the site's impact on vulnerable populations.
I'm disappointed that government didn't hear the people of the community, and I'm disappointed that the resources weren't used to create a recovery strategy as opposed to the continuation of a harm reduction strategy. And my biggest concern is for the youth, because there'll be no data collection here and there'll be no ID taken, so we really don't have any way of assurance that youth will not be using the site.
The Henry Avenue site is open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 6:45 p.m.
What is Winnipeg's mayor saying about this, Taylor?
Well, Scott Gillingham says now that the site is up and running, he doesn't want to see drug use in bus stops or in sidewalks. He hopes that people using drugs will access long-term supports. Today, CTV's Joseph Bernacki is speaking to folks in the area, including visiting local businesses concerned for their future in the neighborhood. He'll explain coming up on CTV News at 6 o'clock.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Taylor. The union representing Manitoba nurses is voicing its concern over security risks following a ransomware attack at Health Sciences Centre. The president of the Manitoba Nurses Union is troubled. The breach is affecting some door access at HSC. The union already listed the hospital as being too dangerous to work at because of safety concerns. Manitoba's Auditor General called for better cybersecurity at Shared Health in a 2024 report. In it, it recommended annual testing and more training for cybersecurity incident response team members. The province of Manitoba is teaming up with the city of Winnipeg and Centre Venture to enhance the look of downtown Winnipeg. The program is called Storefront Success Downtown. Business owners and not-profits will be able to draw on a pool of $1.4 million to help enhance their operations. Each can apply for up to $200,000 for projects, including storefront enhancements, landscaping work, and accessibility upgrades.
As thousands of new residents move into downtown, we need more of those businesses. And we want to make it easier for entrepreneurs to open, to invest, and to grow here. And that's what this provincial announcement is all about. That's what this program is all about. It can help businesses improve storefronts and patios, lighting and signage, making spaces more accessible, and invest in improvements that can bring more activity onto the street.
Applications for the program are now open and will be accepted until the funding is spent. Stakeholders from the province, city, Centre Venture, and the Downtown Biz will review the applications quarterly. All right, let's check in with Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. What are you tracking for us tonight, Colleen?
Some scattered showers here and there as we head into the early part of this evening. Throughout the day, we've seen some showers at different points in time moving through Dauphin. They don't need any more precipitation, as they well know. Perhaps the most northern part of Winnipeg got skimmed by a few showers passing to the north as well. Some of those moving off into northwestern Ontario. So I'll show you how long they're expected to last tonight and when the next chance comes of a substantial rain shower for the Winnipeg area and how that could impact a certain football game coming up as we get close to the weekend. Let's talk to you about that more as we get closer. Let's take a look right now through the CTV Live Eyes, brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. In Winnipeg right now, it is cloudy. It's 21 degrees with the humidex. It feels like 24. Winds coming from the north-northwest at 14 kilometers an hour. The pressure is rising. That will help to start clear out those clouds. The humidity is at 61%. Out in traffic on this Tuesday afternoon, a live look at the very busy St. James Bridge. Steady traffic for folks headed northbound, but you can see pretty slow going as we hit the peak of the rush for folks headed southbound onto Keniston.
Get Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Taking a look at the markets today, crude oil added 28 cents. The Canadian dollar rose slightly. Gold gained another $29. The TSX gained 100 points. The Dow Jones lost 36 points, while the Nasdaq closed 42 points lower. The man who was acquitted of the 1984 murder of 13-year-old Candace Dirksen has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for sexually assaulting a British Columbia woman. Mark Edward Grant was sentenced for charges of sexual assault and forcible confinement. Grant was arrested in January after police said a woman in her 60s was sexually assaulted by a man inside a building in the city's downtown east side. Grant was found not guilty of second-degree murder back in 2017 in the death of Dirksen, who was last seen walking home from school. The DNA evidence, which originally linked him to the case, was ruled to be flawed due to deterioration between the death and Grant's first trial. He'd been granted a trial by the Supreme Court following a guilty verdict in 2011. The ever-increasing cost of living is forcing some pet owners to make an awful choice. They're surrendering their pets in order to get the veterinarian care they can't afford.
It's always been an issue, but we are seeing an increase in this. It's becoming more common.
As a result, the Winnipeg Humane Society says its shelter is now at capacity. In July, pet owners surrendered 150 animals. These pets coming into care are often very sick or injured and require a lot of extra care from staff. The Humane Society wants pet owners to know there are options besides giving up their animal companions.
If people are, struggling, we do have those community support resources, and we really want to work with people to find solutions because we want people and the pets to stay together. We know they are cherished family members. We want to see pets staying in their loving homes. So we just encourage people to reach out and we can see what we can do to help them keep those pets together.
Because of the increase in animals at the shelter, the Winnipeg Humane Society is hoping you can help it out. It needs people to foster some of the animals in the shelter. For more information about how you can sign up, just head to the Winnipeg Humane Society's website. A former Toronto flight attendant who spent years pretending he was a pilot has pleaded guilty to cheating airlines out of hundreds of free flights. Dallas Pokornik used a forged pilot ID from a Toronto-based airline to get seats on more than 200 flights. This went on for about 4 years before his identification was flagged in Panama in October. He posted his lavish travel lifestyle on social media frequently. The Toronto airline he claimed to pilot for has not been named. In the plea agreement, 3 U.S. airlines identified are based in Chicago, Honolulu, and Fort Worth. Pokornik pleaded guilty to wire fraud and has agreed to pay the airlines back. He's now awaiting sentencing in Hawaii. Jeff Bezos is reportedly close to being a part owner of one of the biggest soccer teams in the world. Reports say the Amazon founder is close to a deal to buy some stake in the Premier League club's Liverpool. Bezos is part of a consortium which includes Facebook's co-founder Eduardo Saverin. Liverpool is owned by Fenway Sports Group. The club is valued at more than $8 billion Canadian. All right, we are getting our first look tonight at the Heart of Romania Pavilion, which is making its Folklorama debut this year. John Hendricks is our tour guide tonight. John, what can visitors there expect?
Well, an awful lot, Marilee. Things are going very well here. They are preparing for the big show, which is coming up in just a few minutes. Now, as you all know, Romania is known for several things. Nadia Comaneci, Vlad the Impaler, and of course, a lot of spectacular food, which is why I came right to the kitchen. And right now, Cheryl is in the process of preparing some of that food. So I'm going to take you in and give you a little behind-the-scenes tour. Cheryl, maybe you could just tell me, what do you guys make right now?
So right now I'm deep frying some schnitzel.
Schnitzel? Yeah. This is pretty big though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're a nice size and they're very tasty, popular with our customers every year. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the food that one can expect in Romania. Is it similar to other European countries, or do you have your own sort of special twist?
So a lot of the neighboring countries have similar things, such as like cabbage rolls and meatballs and sausage, but we make a special type of meatball called mitite, and it's a mixture of lamb, pork, and beef with lots of garlic and spices, which garlic, you can't be in Romania without eating garlic. And we make it more like a sausage, so it's more like a skinless sausage, but it's like a meatball.
They've got an awful lot of amazing food here. Glenn and I, my camera guy, we're going to start walking out, and I'll show you that they have an incredible amount of food that is available. There is a lot of stuff here, including garlic, which, as we all know, is a vampire's mortal enemy. They can't see any of that garlic. They don't want it, but they do want it here at this pavilion. So a lot of stuff going on around the behind the scenes here. We are going to be here for the next hour or so, all the way through to 7. And so I'm going to send it back to you, Marilee, and I'm going to head back in the kitchen and supervise all of the amazing work that's going on.
Supervise. Okay, John. Have a good time. We'll check back in with you in a little bit. Tough job. Someone's got to do it, though.
Listening to WIBC Radio.
Look at a new series with a Winnipeg connection. All those details next in Spotlight. Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and a festival celebrating food, culture, and community is returning to Winnipeg.
It sure is. It's called a Street Feast. It's the Street Feast Festival. It's a mouthful. It is, in more ways than one. Now, the important thing is the food. Now, the free event aims to highlight street foods, I can get that out clearly, and specialties from various parts of the world that are found amongst Manitoba's diverse population. Visitors can also expect live performances, local art, and vendors, as well as family-friendly games and so much more.
It actually starts Thursday with DJs, back-to-back DJs. Friday, it's also back-to-back DJs and band as well. And there's a lot of cultural activations. There's also lots of food, of course, food trucks, and yeah, like free karaoke, TP stories with Elder Barbara Nepanak, Stoke Station, Axe Monkey, axe throwing. So there's something for everybody.
Street Feast, there you go, kicks off at the Fork CN Stage and Field this Thursday at 4 p.m. It runs through Sunday. For a full slate of events, head to streetfeast.ca.
I'm suddenly very hungry.
Me too. Between that and Folklorama.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, now to a doll that you could say is ready to dance with somebody.
That's right. Wait for it. Whitney Houston is the latest addition to the Barbie Signature Series. It's dressed in a look from her I Want to Dance with Somebody music video.
I remember it.
Yeah,
wow.
me too.
They nailed it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it looks great. Now, it comes with a microphone and stand, of course. Houston's sister-in-law and executor of her estate, Pat Houston, worked with the creative team at Mattel to create the doll celebrating the singer's signature style.
Do you think young girls are going to know who she is now?
That's the thing.
You have to play the video for them.
Those of us who are a little older, maybe out of the Barbie phase, who would get it. So it's just an interesting choice.
Mums with daughters, maybe.
There you go.
All right. Hudson Williams, Andrew Scott, and Chris Rock are just some of the stars set to take the stage at TIFF.
It is all part of the festival's In Conversation With series. Now, Williams is at the festival to debut the new Crave series, Yaga. TIFF says the event with the 25-year-old actor is part of the Next Wave initiative, which spotlights young talent. Rock, meanwhile, is set to speak on his latest film, Misty Green, and Scott is at TIFF to promote Elsinore. The 51st edition of the Toronto International Film Festival runs September 10th to 20th.
John Hamm has a brand new TV series on the way.
And it was shot right here in Manitoba.
This is Fred Heckman, and you're listening to WIBC Radio.
Now, this is the first trailer for American Hostage, a psychological thriller set in the 1970s. Based on a true story, it stars Hamm, who portrays an Indianapolis radio reporter brought into the center of a hostage crisis. The show was shot in Winnipeg over several months, beginning this past November, you might remember. The 8-episode series will stream on Crave TV this September.
Looks good.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Colleen.
Very exciting. You're welcome. Tonight, your primetime lineup starts things off with The Big Bang Theory at 7. The Amazing Race Canada comes up next at 8. And Children Ruin Everything wraps things up at 9. It's all right here tonight on CTV. A live look at McPhillips. Well, traffic moving, I'm counting at least 4 directions there, but seems to be moving well. 21 degrees right now. It's cloudy. I will have your full weekend forecast coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW and Company. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
A museum at the heart of Silicon Valley is celebrating the computers of the past. The Computer History Museum is hosting vintage hardware with everything from Ataris to IBM machines on display. Visitors can catch a glimpse of the tech at the annual Vintage Computer Festival, which is being held over 2 days.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Imagine doing your weather forecast on those old computers, Colleen.
I can't even imagine.
There are days, though.
Yeah, no kidding. Have we ever? And yeah, hopefully this guy cooperates with me. This computer sometimes decides to be a little temperamental. But hey, please cooperate with me, computer. It'll be good. It'll be good today because if you head into tonight, the sky will be clearing out. We have these showers that have been sort of trundling across southern Manitoba. Up in Dauphin, you don't need any more of that, but that's what's been coming through this afternoon. We did have a little bit of rain. It looked like it just skimmed the northern part of Winnipeg and off it goes into northwestern Ontario, where right now it is going right through Kenora and it will continue to push off. You can see there's a particularly heavy band of it right there where that turns to yellow there. In the north, cloudy there, more unsettled weather, not just cloudy. We've got those scattered showers up there as well. That low pressure over Hudson Bay, it's just so persistent and stubborn. Back here in the south, 21 degrees in Winnipeg, Portage, back on the other side of the border there where that rain is falling in Kenora, it's 21 there. Further south, 25 through Morden and Winkler, Brandon 22, 22 in Dauphin. Up in the north right now, Thompson 19 degrees over in Lynn Lake, 18 there. Up in Churchill, it is 12 degrees, and this is what I'm talking about, these scattered showers across the north into southern regions and a little bit into the south. Like I mentioned, it looked like we got clipped by a little bit of it earlier this afternoon here in Winnipeg. Not much, didn't affect much of the city. Overnight we go, we'll see the sky clear for the most part across much of the south, including here in Winnipeg. Overnight lows in the mid-teens for most of us, maybe a touch cooler if you're in the southwest tonight. Meanwhile, we'll see these scattered showers ease up a bit and terms of the geographic area they cover overnight. But into Wednesday, you can see that area starts to widen out again with more scattered showers. And as we get into the afternoon, really all of us could potentially see some rain showers come through our areas, including over the border into northwestern Ontario. And then you see that particularly heavy band of rain there south of the border as we get into the overnight hours. As we get into Thursday, things start to improve in terms of those scattered showers up in the north. You'll finally see some sunshine again. We'll see more sun here in the south before things start to change as we get into Friday. 14 is our overnight low tonight for Winnipeg. As we go, the sky will clear. Winds at their strongest will come from the north at 15 kilometers an hour. Tomorrow, Wednesday already, 24 degrees under a mix of sun and cloud. 25 now is the normal high for this time of year, in case you keep track of these things. A mix of sun and cloud in the afternoon, really throughout much of the day. Winds at their strongest again out of the north at 15 kilometers an hour. The UV index for Wednesday for the city is 7 or high. Quick look at the long-range forecast. We'll see sunshine as we get to Thursday. 25 degrees, clouding over on Friday. Now, there's looking like an increasingly good chance that it could rain on the Bomber game. The forecast models are starting to come into agreement that there's a high chance of rain on Friday night. Now, it's just when is it going to come? Will it affect the game? We'll get a better sense of that as we get closer to Friday. Rain and showers expected Saturday, and then brighter and warmer on Sunday, 25 degrees. Similar conditions on Monday up to 26. Our first weather photo is from Emile, a gorgeous look out onto Clear Lake. And this next one's very lovely too. It's from Jennifer. She was on the way back to Winnipeg along Highway 9 from Gimli when she took that very prairie photo. Send us yours to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Skywatch Weather Pick of the Day brought to you by Provivo, Winnipeg's first and only longevity medicine clinic. Redefining health, performance, and aesthetics. Provivo.com.
3 teenagers in China have set a record you need to see to believe. We haven't sped this video up. No. These 3 12-year-olds in southwest China just broke a world record at the 2026 Asian Jump Rope Championships. They made 496 successful jumps in just 60 seconds in the team event. It takes a lot of effort to be this good. Students at the school train 2 to 3 hours daily and even longer on holidays, Colleen.
I believe it.
8 to 10 hours on a holiday day off.
You got to put in the hours if you want to be the best.
Wow.
And they are.
I wouldn't want to challenge them, yeah. Impressive. All right, we are back at 6 with much more local news. Hope to see you then.